you spent just one season with the Lakers after Lamar Odom and Brian Grant were traded for Shaq. In that first season where Kobe didn't have Shaq, how did he solidify that Mamba mentality?
Bro, I it's crazy because that shit happened like
I
20
still can't
some
believe
years
he's
ago.
dead. I still can't believe he's dead.
Yeah, man. It's tough to even think about that. And when you just said that, it's like even tough to
I
like
know.
process it. But yeah, it's every time he stepped out, the court, I've never seen someone more driven. Like just to go out and like just do what he said he was going to do and like just demolish people, dissect you on the court, offensively show you that you couldn't do anything with him, and be the closest thing to Michael Jordan that we've all seen. Like it was just complete dominance over years. And I was just, I was inspired by like his grind, but more so like his approach to everything. And I think like you can learn a lot from, the Mamba mentality and Kobe work ethic, but in sports, but you also can, I think the biggest takeaway is just like applying it to your life, like the way that he attacked things. He was the most prepared for his craft. And if you take those lessons in life, like just imagine what you're capable of doing. Like it's really no ceilings to anything. Like if you apply those things to your craft and to your life, you know what I mean? Like outside of the sport.
You know what I found? It would have been interesting to be his teammate and to be around him like that. It reminds me though of he was a rookie. I was a 10-year player by this time, and he was terrible. Like when he came in, he was terrible, wild. Just you hoped he came in and played for a few minutes. And I'll never forget. I was probably not 8 or 9 years in at this point, but I was as good as I was ever going to be at that point. And so I had my way with him. And 2 years later, within 2 years, he had, just blown past me. He was better. I was like, oh, this guy. But the first time we played against each other, we were playing in the Forum, and they had Eddie Jones, and they had a good team, Shaq and them, but we were good, and we were running them out of the building. And he was in the game, third quarter or so, and I'm free throw going on. I'm standing back behind at half court. And, this is in the 90s when, you didn't really commiserate a lot with opponents. It just really wasn't that kind of league yet. But he came up and he stood right next to me and bent down and said, Rex, how much do you shoot during the summer? And I kind of did a double take, like, who is this kid? And what? And he was so earnest and honest about it. And a lot of us didn't really dig him yet because we felt like he was just trying to be Michael. And he was just trying this Michael thing. And when he asked that, I looked at him and I said, I shoot as much as I can. I said, I jump too high on my jump shot. If I could shoot tippy toe shots, I'd shoot 1,000 a day. I said, but I try to get up 200-300 good quality ones. And then the play resumed, and he was like, thank you. But it just tells you how conscientious he was about, and no matter what you think about him and his game and all that, he worked, and it was constantly thinking about it. Right.
Worked his ass off, man.
Yeah.
He really did.
It's so interesting too, you saying, not digging him and not liking him, because one of the, not knocks, but a perception of him was, he was silver spoon. He came over, his dad was in the league and spoke Italian. And then, I mean, he just, especially, you, Caron, you come from the real deal hard side, being in jail, coming from that. And then at some point, he just wore everyone down, just like, oh, doesn't nature, nurture, whatever. This guy is a worker, a killer. He's going to absolutely outwork you. And I just think it's, interesting, nature, nurture, what side of the track, whatever. That guy was going to do it no matter what. That was just innate in him, correct? Like his dad couldn't instill that. He could push it along, but he was born with that, correct?
Yeah, man. I think, the fire that he played with and the fire that he had just in life and his creation and creating different things like the books and going off to winning Oscars, like he just had like a ability to like be great at whatever he committed to. Like he was committed to the mission. He was committed to, obviously being a better version of himself. And he always talked about that. But I think he's like really like he's obviously he's my big brother, a mentor, but he really set the standard for a lot of people across the board. Fuck the favorite basketball player conversation and all that. It's just like I can literally be here, have like Act One go so well, be a Hall of Famer in two jerseys, stay with the same organization, dominate it, exceed all expectations in this space, and then pivot into this space and like, oh shit, I'm already a champion with an Oscar, and I'm about to go off and be a New York Times bestselling author and do it again and again, and then now I'm about to create this whole like world of this content, and he was just on that trajectory and until that devastating crash. But it's just like, man, like he's the gold standard. Like in my eyes, like he's always the guy for me.